Hello everybody, it's Chrissy from Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here for my last album share of 2017. So I think this is album 4 if I remember correctly, and it goes in from Canadian Thanksgiving to the end of the year. So it starts with this fun little layout I created. Now I created this one for one of my 30 days of sketches, and it's just cute Snapchat photos because that's what we did in 2017, and I really love it. Pop of teal because we're both wearing teal. I think that was kind of the theme for the day if I remember correctly, and I just really love the way it turned out. Sleeping on me right there, little bunny, a bunch of little bits and pieces. I like this one because of how much little bits and stuff is on it, because I don't tend to do that as much as I used to. And then it goes in straight into October and full on fall themed. So we went to the pumpkin patch, and that was Nora's first trip there. So I think this one was something I created for Lift and Sketch, and I had a lot of fun. I used that really popular pattern paper from Pink Fresh Studio, and I fussy cut that out and had a bunch of fun playing with that one. So there's that one. Here's one of a photo I had staged, and I just really loved the way that it turned out, so I decided to scrap it and use this beautiful wood grain paper. It's a really fun one. I love that, and all these leaves and stuff. And then here is another one. This is Nora's layout for her first trip, and then it's not cut yet, but there is 2 other photos in there as well of her adventures when we were at the pumpkin patch. And then here's one which looks so weird in this part of the album because you can tell that it's Valentine's themed, but I just love this life. So I did some folding of the paper and I stitched it all down, and then just highlighted this. But this photo was taken in October, so it looks out of place. But I couldn't put this in February because she was not even born in February. So yeah, it looks really weird, but I do love the way that this layout turned out. I think I did it for a special design team spot, like a guest design team spot. Sweet little thing there. And then here's my little ones with their pumpkins. This one was definitely a 30 days of sketches as well. They're so cute. And then I did one of each of them. So here is Nora with her pumpkin. I just titled it The Cutest Pumpkin. And then Jackson with his. And this one was fun. I used, this was probably one of the very first times I had used a cut file. And I made little shaker. They're not even pockets because the sequins, I just put a bunch of glue and then patted the sequins down. But I really love the way it turned out. I think it's really neat. So there's that one. And then them playing in the leaves, that was really fun. I think we had a power outage, so we went outside because it was warm enough, and then they had a lot of fun playing in the leaves. And this was using one of my very first kits from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I think this was my second kit. I had asked for an autumn themed kit, and this is what Christina gave me, and I loved playing with it. And here is a fun one. I love this layout. So Halloween, when they went trick-or-treating, and this was a re-scrapped. I had done it one way, I didn't love it, so I re-scrapped it, and I fussy cut out the letters, but I stitched them as well, and I popped them up on some fun foam, and I just love the way that turned out. It's just, I did a little bit of mixed media, and the photos are laid out like you spread a deck of cards. So I love the way this one turned out. I was so happy that I re-scrapped that one. And then Nora as a butterfly for her first Halloween. This was a 30 days of sketches layout too. Love that. She was so cute. And then me with my leggings. And fall, I always do fall themed of me because it's my favorite season, so I tend to do a lot of stuff like this, either me with coffee or me and the leaves or something. There tends to be 1 or 2 of those of me every year. And then here's another kind of Valentine's themed layout, even though it's in September. So I was a little off with my scrapping. I must have been scrapping these in February, even though they were October photos, but I love it. This was a fun, this is completely outside of my comfort zone to do layouts where nothing's touching each other. It's completely like block styled, and so out of my comfort zone, but it was a lot of fun to do. So, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. there's that one. Here is another 30 Days of Sketches layout I did. I really love the way this one turned out. I think it's really fun. I have a whole bunch of journaling to put. I just have never gotten to it, but I love it. Just a photo of us on our way driving to school or daycare at that time. And then here is one that it's not a fun adventure. So I don't know if you've ever heard the story of me talk about it, but when Jackson lost his very first tooth, it was not a fun adventure. We were playing and he fell against the couch and his tooth caught a stitch on the couch and it completely ripped his tooth out, the whole tooth, root and all. Which is good because they didn't have to do anything. But thankfully I also work at a dental office, so we ran to my dental office and they had a look and they said it'll be fine and his tooth is now grown in and everything's good. But it was super traumatic and he just kept saying, I want my tooth back, I want my tooth back. And so I think at the time that movie, The No Good, Very Bad, Horrible Day was out. So I kind of did the same thing, The No Good, Very Bad Adventure in Losing Your First Tooth. So I love that. And this flips up and there's a photo that's a little bit more, it's not gory, but you can tell where the blood was of him missing his tooth. So, and he got $5 for being so good in his first visit from the tooth fairy because it was very traumatic. And here's another one. I really love the way this turned out. We went and saw Disney on Ice with my sister and my niece. And the kids had so much fun. It was a really fun day. We drove out to Vancouver and they each got a little stuffy. We stopped at the Disney store so we didn't have to spend the Disney on Ice prices, and it was tons of fun. They loved it. Jackson did really well. I was afraid he wasn't sit through it, but he didn't love the princess parts, but the rest of it he did, and did really, really awesome. And then here is us waiting to see Santa, and this excuse me, and this layout I think was for a Crafty Maven Getaway or something along those lines, but lots of mixed media and just a little bit outside my comfort zone, but I really love the effect of it. And then photos in different places, which isn't like me either, but I like this one a lot. It's one of my favorite ones that I created in that little span of time. And then on to my holiday party for work that year, which was fun. I was off on mat leave, so it was a fun time to catch up with all my coworkers, which was awesome. And we got to stay at a hotel for the night by my boss, which was super cool as well. So there's just us all dressed up, ready to go to the party. And then the next morning we had coffee in bed, and that was the view, and we could actually see out to the water, which was really cool. So there is my cozy morning, which I love this too. And because it was a Christmas party, I made it Christmas themed. Did some stitching along the sides of that there. That's a kind of a different way to add a pop of something when you're doing that type of design, because it's a very classic design, right? Having the 2 blocks of pattern paper there. So you always want to try to think of ways to maybe add a little something to it to make it a little bit different. And my idea for that one was to add a bit of stitching. And then here's my little girl sitting next to our Charlie Brown Christmas tree there. And yeah, I like this one. This was backing, this is the first time I'd ever backed a cut file. And I put them up against, and then Daisy had sent me this tin full of awesomeness. And so I was using a bunch of stuff that she had sent me. And yeah, I just loved it. I used the 'Tis the Season to Sparkle. That was a really popular title for this year, if I remember correctly. And I just love this photo of her. She's so cute. And Jackson helping me scrape off the window because it was so cold, and he loved to, he put on my gloves and he'd help me, and he couldn't scrape it too hard because the gloves were huge on him, but he had so much fun trying to help me. So my big helper. And yeah, I love that one as well. And here's another, this is a snow day, and it was tons of, it wasn't enough to really play in. It was like the wet snow, and it wasn't tons of fun, but we still went for a walk, and he enjoyed the walk, and we walked all the way to a park, and I took a couple of photos. He tried to play in it, and then we went home, but it was still a fun little adventure. So it's a fun one to document. And then Jackson was a reindeer at his junior kindergarten program. So that's the photo of us together. I have one of him with Sean and Nora, but Nora's crying, but I would like to actually attach that somewhere on here because it finishes off the rest of the story because it was funny. The photo of Nora crying is just hilarious. But yeah, I like this one. This is kind of a different take on a Christmas layout with the colors and stuff. So that was fun. I enjoyed playing that one too. And then my poor little guy got sick. And so we let him sleep by the Christmas tree that night. And yeah, it was, thankfully, I don't think it was a very long sickness. I don't think he was sick for very long, but yeah, he was not feeling well. And when he isn't feeling well, he just lies on the couch. I actually, as much as you don't want your child to be sick, I don't mind it because he's wonderful of energy otherwise, but he's nice and calm when he's sick. So, and this I think was another guest design team spot for a design team using up this Christmas line. And then there are my kids helping to decorate for the tree. And this is just Peace, Noel, and Joy. I had fun with this one. This was for one of the 12 days of Christmas. I think we had to use a certain number of ornaments on this one. So lots of fun. I like the way that one turned out too. Here's the one about our stockings. My mom has made our stockings, and she's made one for Barrett now too. And it's just such a sweet thing. So I definitely had to get that documented because a labor of love making those. She hand stitched a bunch of stuff in our names and everything. So yes, I love that. There's using the cut file from Paige Evans, and I used some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins. And then finally is just this layout about Nora learning. Sean was helping her with walking. She wasn't walking yet, but was helping her get around. And so I just took the colors from her cute little onesie and found a sequin mix that matched and just did a sequin snowflake because it was wintertime. So that's it, guys. There's a lot missing from this part of 2017. So there's gonna have to be another album because this is already jam-packed. But yeah, I started to do a lot in 2017, and I think 2018 will probably be 5 albums as well, and 2019. So I'm up to about 4 to 5 albums a year, which is a little crazy, and I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I love to scrap, so I just do what I want, and I will deal with the solution on how to store them later. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you've missed any of the albums, there is a playlist in my channel, and I'll try to remember to link it below. And it just says album shares, and they should all be there for you. Thank you, and I'd love to know which one was your favorite from this album. I'll see you all really soon. Bye.